know, today we're talking to women who say they regret giving birth to babies while they were using drugs. Barbara, we've been seeing here what premature babies look like. We know that these are not babies who are drug babies, but the babies you have, the 4 that you've adopted, are drug babies. What are, I mean, you've held them in your arms. What are the responses? What are the things that they do being addicted babies?
First of all, they have to go through withdrawals, and that takes different lengths of time.
But what does withdrawal look like?
They shake and quiver and jump, and their eyes are really big. One of mine, their eyes were so far open, people would go, "What's wrong with her?" But I guess they're wired or something when they are born. It's terrible. But the 4 that I've adopted are 4 lucky ones. They're not going to be permanently damaged like a lot of them are.
Is one going through, though, there's a whole thing also I've heard that there's rages.
Yeah, I have my 3-year-old, we call it Katie Tantrums, because we thought it was a terrible twos, and she's 3.5 now, and she's still doing it. She just has no patience. She throws herself on the ground and throws things, and I don't know, we just are hoping that something she's going to grow out of and not something that's going to be permanently with her the rest of her life, because I can't imagine living with that forever. It's going to get worse as she gets older.
Do the doctors think it's something it'll go away? Or?
She may have attention deficit disorder, which a lot of these babies end up with, but we're just hoping she doesn't.
Oh, yeah. See, I have a question. Now, you know how you were saying you was denying the fact that you was smoking and all that stuff. I think that a lot of people kind of have, you know, kind of go about denying it. And the kids can't deny it. I mean, you know what I'm saying? You're saying that you're denying it and you keep going through the same thing. And I'm a strong believer that denial is the first stage of depression. I mean, you know, you can't walk around here and say that you're denying the fact that you're smoking and you're having kids all at the same time.
I think you're forgetting the issue of choice. When a person is addicted, they don't have choice.
Right. So, everybody, this is Lynn, just because you hadn't met her yet. Hello, Lynn. But we're talking here to... Everybody say hello to Lynn, because they haven't met her. But actually, you're talking to Elisa, right? You're talking to the woman who's in the black overalls?
Yeah. That's what I was saying. I was telling her.
Okay. So in terms of denial, just the fact that the babies can't deny it. You agree? Are you depressed?
Yeah, I am.
Yes, about these babies. You know, God created us to be fruitful and have many. But I hate to hear about you ladies on drugs and birthing children in this world. I love children, and I want to be a father one day. But God knows, I love to see you ladies get some help for the drug addiction.
You know what? For myself, I know that I used to carry a lot of guilt, you know, for bringing my child into the world, you know, my children into the world like this, because that's, you know, it's devastating. It's hard to accept that and live with that and carry that. But now that I'm in recovery, I'm learning how to let that go, because in order to be the best mother that I can be today, I have to stay clean and stay in the now, just for today.
But why? It's so, you know, it's so painful for me now. It's so painful, and I think it's great. But why did it take 5 children so many years?
I think I run a lot of the programs that these women are in, and that's why I'm on the show today. And all I can tell you is a lot of this help wasn't even available 5 years ago. It's only been in the last couple of years that there's been a real recognition of the problem of pregnant women giving birth to babies while they're using drugs. And help is available. And these women have taken advantage of it.
I just wanted to say that these women are in a program, but there are many women who are not in a program. And there are women who have as many as 24 babies in our system.
All right.
They're not looking for a program, so you need to know that this is not the norm. The natural mother of the children I have has never looked for a program, and she's had 8 children.
A lot of people don't know where to go for help.
You know, I'm going to give an unfortunate statistic, and then I want to talk to Velma. An unfortunate statistic, and we called today to find out 2/3 of the people who go into rehab do not stay clean. And that is... I'm going to say, because we checked your statistics, Lynn, and we found that was the truth.
And I'm happy to give that statistic.
But that is a sad statistic.
That's a very positive statistic. But because while these women are in that program, it's a start. And a lot of the women that don't stay clean the first time get clean. And they raise their children, and they get jobs, and they straighten out their lives. Alcoholism and drug addiction are diseases of relapse.
Okay.
Get that. It is one day at a
All right.
time.
Now, Velma.
Yes.
Velma, who's this that we're speaking to right now? I'm sorry.
Tell them who you are.
I'm Claudia Kearns. I'm a physical therapist.
Hi, Claudia.
She works with the baby's developmental disabilities. In other words, because of the drugs, they don't develop properly. And there are certain tests that they do. Tell her some of the developmental disabilities that that you test for and that we're about to see.
Well, what we do is we look for interactive abilities, the baby's ability to interact with their environment, their ability to focus and follow, turn to sound. We look at their ability to socialize with someone, their face-to-face social interaction abilities. We look at their muscle tone.
Claudia, how often do you see drug abuse?
I can't give you an exact statistic. I would say that we probably have about 4 to 5 babies a month, perhaps, in here. And I know that that may not be generally what is seen, but I think it has to do with somewhat with demographics.
There was a drug-influenced baby here yesterday. Am I right?
Right.
And you can tell because the babies are jittery.
Right. And they have increased tone. Some of them have color changes because they're not able to cope with things going on in their environment. For example, a light or a humming sound or just a general shutting of a door would be okay for any other baby to deal with. But our babies have more difficulty doing this.
It gives them sensory overload.
Exactly.
You can see their heart rate go up. You can see them become jittery. You can see them react to just a voice, Gabrielle.
Some of them,
something very simple.
I heard that sometimes babies won't eat, if they're speed babies, for 2 weeks. They might not ingest any kind of food just because they're so hooked on the drug still.
Is it 2 weeks or is it even a month before they can eat?
Actually, it all depends upon the baby and their ability to suck, swallow, and breathe. We're looking for that coordinated pattern. Again, you're dealing with the central nervous system and this baby's ability to be able to pull it all together.
We have some questions here in the audience, Velma.
Well, first I have a comment about foster care. I am a nurse. I work with these babies every single day. I see these kids on a daily basis, at least 5 kids a day that are drug addicted, that are premature, and I don't do it for the money, okay? I make enough money being a nurse. I do it because someone has to reach out to those kids and take them into their home and be a good foster parent. And you know what? One mistake I grant you, but not 2, 3, 4, and 5. I have 2 foster children of my own. One of them was born at 1 pound. This mother has had 5 other children. Do they, you guys don't stop and think about what are you doing to them? You're not holding them in your arms at night when they're shaking, when they're stiff, when they can't concentrate, when they're having tremors and pains. No, you're not thinking about that. You have a problem, deal with it like you are. I commend you that you're getting treatment, but leave the babies alone. Let them have a life. Let them get better. If you have your own kids, don't try to have more. Get Norplant. Get something, because these babies don't deserve it.
Up next, how a mother's drug addiction affected her 11-year-old daughter. When we come back. About mothers who are victims of their addictions. Velma, so you're with Michael now.
Yes, because he can outlay exactly, we've been talking all day about whether these women should be sterilized or just what, because now that we've seen what the conditions are that these babies are in, what are the options as they exist?
Well, what happens is when the DCS, the Department of Children's Service, gets involved, they can either go home to the mother with a drug program, they can be placed in foster care, or possible adoption. A lot of moms give up the baby for adoption, or they go to a relative. But the parent has to decide what they want to do. They need to go to a drug program if they're going to get that baby back, and they have to stay off drugs. That's the whole idea.
So those are the options as they exist.
We had some questions in the audience. Thank you, Michael. We're going to come back and forth.
First of all, I'd like to commend these 2 ladies on the end for getting help, and I pray that you guys, stay clean. Also, I'd like to say to the lady in the black, I'd like to know, how does she feel about these little premature babies who are on drugs? Because she appears to have an attitude like she doesn't want to get help.
No, that's not true. That's not true at all.
Are you going to stay with the man that you're
No, see, I want to get help, but you don't understand. It's not so easy as that. It's not like say, okay, well, you can't just walk in and go, I want some help, and expect that the county or whatever facilities is available is going to be able to give it you in like that. There is a waiting list.
We've got about
There is a waiting list.
Waiting list.
Okay? So I have to
sit there and bite my time until
But if she
they
would
will
have got on
accept
that
me.
waiting list when she first got pregnant, she would be in the program.
That's not really.
A lot of times, everybody, I'd like to introduce our next guest. Everybody, this is Jill and her aunt, Gina. Now, Jill, hello. Thank you for being here. Now, Jill, you're 11 years old?
Yeah.
Is that right? Now, your mom was a drug addict.
Yeah.
Is that right? Can you tell us, what is it like? You know, you're hearing these women talk about people getting better or whatever. What was it like as a child living with a mother who was a drug addict?
Well, it was awful. Well, in the morning, she'd ask us if we wanted to go to school.
Mm-hmm.
And most of the time, we'd say yes, because most of the time I was too tired, because at night I used to feed my brother, because she was too hungover to she didn't want to get up.
She didn't want to get up, so you'd end up taking care of your
She just put the
brother?
pillow over his head and told him to shut up.
So now you ended up feeding and taking care of your brother, right?
Mm-hmm.
And there was the whole thing that you'd give. Was there enough food in the house?
Hardly ever. Most of the time I just have to give him like a piece of bread and butter or a Kool-Aid. That's the only thing we had.
And Gina, I know this must be very hard for you. And you now, Jill is living with you. Is that
yes,
right?
we've had the kids this time for 3 years. We had them before. We first got the kids in 1989, and I went and I took the kids from where they were at. Their mom had gone to jail, and I showed up where these people that were taking care of the kids, I paid them a surprise visit, and nobody was in school. It was already like a month into the school year. Jill wasn't enrolled in school. The kids were dirty. They were like, their hair was matted and stuff. And I just took them, and it was kind of like a fight with these people because they wanted money. And I just told them, you know, I'm their aunt, and what are you? You're nothing. If you don't give me the kids right now, I'm going to call the cops. And who are they going to believe, you know? So it's been a battle.
It's been an uphill. Thank God you're taking care of her now. We're going to come back and talk a little bit more to you. Next, what mother would abandon her baby right after giving birth? Well, we'll find out next.